Today I will tell you how I learned 1,000 words. This story will really help you in your daily routine to learn English. Enjoy the story. My name is Sarah. I want to learn 1,000 words in English. This is a big goal, and I am excited to start. I know that learning these words will help me speak, read, and understand English better. Forgetting words. On the first day, I choose 10 simple words to learn. For example, I choose words like apple, cat, and book. I write them down in my notebook. I say each word out loud and try to remember it. But later in the day, I forget some of the words. For example, I forget the word book. This makes me feel sad. I realize that just writing the words once is not enough. To help me remember, I make flashcards. On one side of the card, I write the word in English, like book. On the other side, I write the meaning in my language. I look at these flashcards every day. This helps me remember the words better. For example, every time I see the word book on the card, I remember what it means, and it becomes easier to recall. Feeling tired. After a few days, I start to feel tired. Learning 10 words every day is harder than I thought. Some days, I'm too busy to study. For example, one day, I have a lot of work at school, and I cannot study my new words. I fall behind and feel worried. I think, will I ever reach my goal? I feel like giving up, but I don't want to. I decide to change my plan. Instead of learning 10 new words every day, I learn 5 words on busy days and 15 words when I have more time. For example, on a busy day, I only learn words like dog, car, and tree. On a free day, I learn more words like sun, moon, water, flower, and house. This makes it easier for me to keep going. I also tell myself that it's okay to take a break sometimes. This new plan helps me stay on track without feeling too tired. Afraid to speak. Another problem I have is using the new words in conversations. I am afraid of making mistakes, so I don't speak much. For example, I know the word apple, but when I try to say it, I get nervous and say it wrong. This makes me feel shy and scared to speak. To fix this, I start practicing with a friend who is also learning English. We talk to each other in English and help each other. We don't laugh at mistakes. We try to use the new words we learn. For example, I say, I eat an apple every day, and my friend helps me if I say something wrong. This helps me feel more comfortable. The more I practice, the better I get. Forgetting old words. One day, I noticed that I forget some words after a few weeks. For example, I learned the word window last month, but now I cannot remember it. This worries me. I worked hard to learn these words, and now they are gone from my memory. I start to feel like I am not really learning. To solve this, I start to review the words I learned before. Every week, I go back to the old words and practice them again. For example, I take out the flashcard with window on it and practice it again. I mix the old words with new words in my flashcards. I also try to use the old words in my conversations. This helps me keep the words in my memory. Difficult words. I also find that some words are hard to remember because I don't use them in my daily life. For example, I learn the word bicycle, but I don't use it every day, so I forget it. These words seem strange to me, and I don't know when to use them. This makes it harder to stay motivated. To help with this, I start writing simple sentences with these hard words. I try to make these words a part of my life. For example, I ride my bicycle to the park even if I don't have a bicycle. I also try to use these words when I talk to my friends. This helps me remember the words better. Getting tired. As I learn more words, I start reading simple books in English. When I see a word I know, I feel happy. For example, I read a book and see the word cat. I remember that I learned this word, and now I understand the sentence. The cat is on the mat, but sometimes I get tired because the journey is long and I want to stop. After a few months, I reach 500 words. I feel proud, but I also feel tired. The journey is longer and harder than I thought. Some days, I want to stop, but I remember why I started, and I keep going. I think about how much better my English is now. I can speak better, read better, and understand more. This gives me the strength to continue. Confusing words. As I learn more words, I notice that some words look or sound the same, but they have different meanings. For example, I learn the words right and right. These words sound the same but mean different things. This confuses me, and I make mistakes when I use them. To solve this, I write sentences using both words to understand their meanings better. For example, I am right about the answer, and I write a letter to my friend. This helps me see the difference. I also practice saying these words out loud, so I get used to them. With time, I start to remember which word to use in each situation. Long words. Some English words are very long, and I find them hard to spell and remember. For example, the word elephant is long, and I keep spelling it wrong. This makes me feel frustrated. To make it easier, I break the word into smaller parts. For example, I break elephant into elephant. I practice each part, and then I put them together. I also try to think of a picture that helps me remember the word. For elephant, I imagine a big elephant in my mind. This helps me remember the word better. Lack of practice. Sometimes learn new words, but I don't have enough time to practice them. For example, I learn the word guitar, but I don't use it in my daily life, so I start to forget it. To solve this, I try to use the new words in my everyday life, even if I don't need them. For example, I say to myself, I like the sound of a guitar, even if I don't play the guitar. I also try to use these words when I talk to my friends or write them in my journal. This helps me practice the words and keep them fresh in my mind. Losing motivation. As time goes on, I sometimes feel like I am not making progress. For example, I learned 700 words, but I feel like I am still not good at English. This makes me feel like giving up. To keep my motivation, I set small goals and reward myself when I reach them. For example, I tell myself, if I learn 50 more words, I will watch my favorite movie. Also remind myself of how far I have come. I look at my old flashcards and see all the words I have learned. This makes me feel proud and gives me the energy to keep going. Reaching the goal. Finally, after 3 months, I reach my goal. I have learned 1,000 words in English. I am so happy. I tell my friends and family, and they are proud of me too. I know that learning these words was not easy, but it was worth it. Now, I can speak better, read better, and understand English better. I know that I can learn anything if I work hard and don't give up. The problems I faced taught me that it's okay to change my plan, to ask for help, and to keep practicing. I learned that challenges make me stronger. Learning 1,000 words in English was a big goal, but I did it. Now, I feel ready to learn even more. I know that I can keep growing and improving. The journey was hard, but it made me better. Advice for you. If you want to learn 1,000 words in English, follow my techniques, take your time, use flashcards, and practice every day. It's okay to ask for help and adjust your plan if needed. Don't give up, and you will reach your goal, just like I did. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share.